somewhat shiny, and somewhat large. And it has a friend. So, got me some flooring material, and some roofing material, and maybe some siding material too for the buggy. Was looking at prices before I picked the buggy up, the chassis, on aluminum plating, and was horrified to see how much that stuff cost. I knew it would be a little bit of money, but I didn't think it would be as much as people ask for new stuff. Anyways, I found out basically like an 1/8 inch sheet of aluminum, 4 foot by 8 foot, would be like $480 or $450 not shipped. Maybe there would be somebody local that could get me a better deal, I don't know, but still, I was expecting I'm probably going to have 2 sheets, like 4 by 8s, to do the floor, and then I'd probably need a sheet to do the roof, and it probably needs to be wider than 4 foot, and I was getting really scared that I was going to end up with $1,500 to $2,000 in aluminum paneling in this thing. So a friend of mine told me to look on Craigslist, and I looked on Craigslist, all in the areas where we're going to get the buggy, because I hadn't got the buggy yet, and lo and behold, I found a guy that was like on the way there, or at least the listing was in the town a couple of miles away. It was in Lakeland instead of Tampa, and I thought, awesome, we can swing by Lakeland and see what this guy has. And he said he had a 5x12 diamond plate, which was a little more out of my price range, and he had a 4x8, 4x10, I think it was 4x10 or 4x12 sheet of 1/8 inch aluminum. That was more in my price range, and I was like, awesome. He said he had other pieces, and I was thinking, man, he had like little cut up sections or something, you know. So I asked what other sizes he has, and he texted back what sizes you're looking for, and I was like, man, I really like your 5x12 size, but I really don't need the diamond plate, and I kind of don't want to pay the price for the 1/4 inch, because it was 1/4 inch thick. And he said, well, I got some 1/8 inch and some other sizes in the 5x12, I think. Let me check in the morning. So I'm still thinking this is at some guy's house, you know, he's got it out in the barn or something. Lo and behold, it turns out to be a recycling place, and somebody scrapped this. And not just this, they scrapped like 4 pallets of this. So, come to find out, you know, he said he's a scrap yard, and they charge per weight, which is awesome, because this is a 5x12 by 1/8 inch, and I paid $205 a sheet, because they do it by weight. And so anyways, he said he had a 5x12, which is better because the buggy's almost 5 foot wide, and 1 panel wide would cover the whole floor and stuff. So then, come to find out, it's not in Lakeland, it was in Tampa. And not only was it in Tampa, it was like a total miracle. It was right behind Fisher Buggies. There's like a railroad track kind of separates them, and we just had to go around the corner, so Ben didn't have to drive us Godzilla trailer around Lakeland and Tampa. I was thinking, oh man, this thing may be like halfway downtown or something. So we just had to drive around the street and got 2 sheets in less than what I pay for a 4x8. 1/8 inch is a little on the thin side. I know some people will be like, oh, that's a little thin. But I'm going to put a lot of brackets to hold the floors and stuff on there. I've heard a lot of the actual off-road guys say you don't really need more than that. Some of the people that actually ran like the 1000 and stuff. And so that should be good for the floor, should be good for the roof, and I believe I can get the side panels out of this too. The roof will be 2 sections, because it is kind of 2 sections already. So I plan on making the floor go from this front bar here all the way back under the seat, right into front of this bar here, which is where the back seat will be. Just give you a rundown on it. The seat is a 51 inch empty. I believe the inside dimension is 56 inches from inside to inside. And I don't know, I haven't got a tape measure it. They were thinking about building it for a wider beam, but I asked them to do it for a Volkswagen suspension, because I'm probably going to run a stock beam. Hopefully I can use one as a swap meet or something for a link pin and build it on that for right now to get it all going. It may eventually get a widened 6-inch beam, but the problem is with the 6-inch wider beam, you end up adding a lot of cost. Even though the beams are cheap, but then you got to buy the torsion packs, you got to buy the tie rods. Now you can't use a stock steering box. You got to go to a center mount rack, because if not, you're going to make custom tie rods for something that's going to have really crazy bump steer. And I still got to get a torsion housing. Now they could have welded one in there for me, but it was going to be like another $500, and I can weld. I just don't have a tube bender, so I was like, I'll do the torsion housing myself. And there'll be an IRS in the back, of course. There's only a couple of bars they didn't weld. They didn't weld this bar for me. They painted them all in red, so you know which ones. But this one, they didn't know if I wanted to run a fuel cell type gas tank or if I wanted to run a aluminum tank. So they left it unwelded so I can move it back or forth, depending on what I want to do. I'm probably going to run a fuel cell because my brother has one. He has a 12-gallon fuel cell, which should fit in between those rails. I may have to move that one just a little forward. Up here up front too, they left the dash bar and the steering column support unwelded, just for the same reason. They don't know how tall exactly I am. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. I wish the cage was a little bit taller. It's going to be, not that my head will hit, but it'll be a little closer than my comfort. That's kind of how all dune buggies are, though. I've noticed either they have a crazy tall cage or they have one that's too tall and your head sticks out it. So they did pretty good because they didn't have me there to measure it. I guess I should have probably gave them a height of how tall I am sitting in a seat. They could have probably did a little different there, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. It costs a lot more than I wanted to pay originally, as with everything, you know, because it is a custom build. It did cost more than the original estimate, so, but not much more. You know, it's kind of to be expected. But they did say this is the biggest dune buggy they've ever built, as far as how much tubing's in it and how big and how long and wide it is. It is 14 feet from the rear of the cage to the beam clamps, and once you put rims and tires on there, that will grow in a front bumper, so it's probably going to be closer to 15 foot long when we're done. But I used the bench seat because I figure I can put an adult, child, and then in the back will be another one, an adult, child. It's really comfortable for like 2 adults. 3 adults would be kind of I'd say would be squishing it. Maybe if you had a really skinny adult. I'm not a skinny person, but you might be able to fit 3 in there adults, but you'll definitely be able to fit 3 kids or 2 adults and a child, no problem. But the plan on this is just to kind of slowly get it going. And first we'll probably start making the floor brackets, get the floor and the roof, and probably start making the side panels because I have that stuff, and get that going. Shifter is going to be a unique ordeal. It's probably going to end up being a cable shift of some sort, or have a lot of U-joints in it, because I'm going to have to move the shifter over, so it's not in between whoever's legs are sitting in the center, and plus it's kind of far over because it is so wide. It needs to be more on this side of that rail. So anyways, guys, just figured I'd give you a little rundown on what the buggy looks like. I think they did a pretty good job on the chassis. It is a little different design than their normal one because of how long in the cage. They gave me, if you look at it, the front hoop area here is bigger than the back, but the back area is much larger than a normal one. Normally there's probably about 10 inches missing here, so you know, I sat in there with the seat in the back, and you know, you have plenty of room before you hit that seatbelt bar, basically. So it's pretty cool. We'll have to slowly build this one up, though. This one's going to kind of be a time-consuming project. So for right now, I'm trying to reclaim my garage so I can put the bug back in the other side. Got rid of some of the stuff with a yard sale. I still got garbage I got to deal with. And I got to move all the aluminum to the side so I can put the buggy back in here. So anyways, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is going to be the new buggy build, and I'll try and make videos as I do it. This is going to be a long-term project. It's probably going to take a while. Just, you know, it costs a lot of money to do something like this. So anyways, I'll see you guys later, and get out there and get your cars worked on. Let's get all these projects going. See you later.